Hi everyone, welcome back to Saheb Academy. Today in this fifth video of labor costing chapter, we are going to solve our fourth problem of Halsey and Rowan plan. And this question I have taken from ICAI study material, practical question number 1. And the interesting thing about this question is here the business is currently following time wage system of remuneration and they are thinking to go for bonus incentive schemes. Okay. Halsey and Rowan. So what we have to do is we have to do the comparison between Halsey and Rowan by calculating the the earnings under both the plans and then effective rate per hour and then what all savings that will be happening for the business. All right, that's the entire thing about the question. So let's just begin. But before going ahead, let me just tell you what we have done so far in the previous videos. Let's just talk about just the previous video. Okay. In the previous video, we have seen the illustration 10 from the ICAI module. That was our third problem of Halsey and Rowan, and it was an interesting problem really. We had bit mathematics over here to solve x, and then so it was an interesting question, isn't it? And then in the fourth video, previous video, we also understood what is effective rate per hour in detail. Yes. And then the conceptual example of effective rate per hour. So please watch the fourth video of this chapter, then only go ahead with this video. All right, so let's just begin now. Let's just understand this question and then let's see how to solve this. See here, let's just read this question. Mr. A is working by employing 10 skilled workers. He is considering the introduction of some incentive scheme, either Halsey scheme with 50% bonus or Rowan scheme of wage payment, for increasing the employee productivity to cope with the increased demand for the product by 25%. So till here we come to know that there is this Mr. A who has 10 skilled workers working for him in the factory. Okay. And then he is considering to adopt an incentive scheme. He has two options, either choose Halsey or Rowan. Fine. Now why he is choosing an incentive scheme? Because he is saying that there is an increased demand for the product by 25%. Now this is an irrelevant information. We don't want that, by how much the demand is increasing and all. Okay, that's irrelevant. But it's just that why he is adopting incentive scheme to increase the employee productivity. So that they can work faster if they will get a little bit extra money. Fine. Then see, he's saying he feels that if the proposed incentive scheme could bring about an average 20% increase over the present earnings of the workers, it could act as sufficient incentive for them to produce more, and he has accordingly given this assurance to the workers. So here we come to know that this Mr. A, what he has done, he has given an assurance to his workers that their earnings will increase by 20%. He's adopting incentive scheme because he feels himself that an average 20% increase will happen. Okay, for example, let's just say the earnings are 100 rupees. Then he's saying that it may increase to 120 rupees, 20% increase. And this assurance has been given to the workers from Mr. A. Okay, that this will happen. So because of this assurance, what will happen now? See here, as a result of the assurance, the increase in productivity has been observed. Of course, they will be motivated, right? The employees, the workers. So the productivity has increased because of this, has been observed as revealed by the following figures for the current month. So see here, what are the figures? Hourly rate of wages guaranteed rupees 40. So this is your time rate, isn't it? This is TR, hourly rate of wages. And then average time for producing one piece by one worker at the previous performance. In the bracket they are saying this may be taken as time allowed. Okay, time allowed means what? Standard time. Standard time and time allowed is same only, whatever time that has been allotted to the worker, right? So that's 2 hours they are saying to just produce one piece. Number of working days in the month, 25 days. Okay, so they have just excluded Sundays, it seems. And then number of working hours per day for each worker, 8 hours. Okay, actual production during the month, 1250 units. Okay, so see, here you have to do the month calculation. Entire production is given to you during the month, 1250 units. Fine. So this will be a total calculation, not just one worker, 1 day calculation. No, it's total calculation. Okay. And then see what are the requirements over here. Requirements are, see, the first one is calculate effective rates of earnings per hour under Halsey scheme and Rowan scheme. Yeah. How do we calculate effective rate of earnings? It's really simple. Total earnings divided by time taken. Total earnings divided by time taken. They are saying Halsey and Rowan. So first you need Halsey earnings, okay, and then calculate the effective rate of earnings under Halsey, and then calculate Rowan earnings with the Rowan formula, and then calculate the effective rate of earnings under Rowan scheme. Fine. So two total earnings you will have. Time taken will be same only. Divide by time taken, you will get that. Okay, don't worry, I will show you how to do it. It's really simple. Fine. The second requirement, calculate the savings to Mr. A in terms of direct labor cost per piece under the schemes. Okay, this is the savings. So we haven't done this before. So we'll see this in this question only. So it's really simple. Don't worry. I will show you while we'll see the solution. Okay. Then the third requirement is the extra requirement that I have put over here. Which scheme should be adopted to fulfill the assurance? Now this requirement is not there in the current module, but in the old modules it used to be there. Okay, so that's why I have put this, and it's an interesting requirement, so we'll see how it works. Okay, and it's a bit confusing also. Don't worry, we'll see that. Okay, now let's just go to the solution now. Now let's just solve this question. It's really simple. The first requirement is calculate effective rate of earnings per hour under Halsey and Rowan scheme, both. So first what you have to do, remember the formula of effective rate per hour. What was the formula? The formula is total labor cost divided by effective hours, or you can also say total earnings divided by time taken. From the point of view of the worker, total earnings divided by time taken. Okay. So we need the earnings under Halsey also and earnings under Rowan also. Then only we'll have two effective rate per hour to do the comparison. Is it clear? Because two effective rate per hour we need to calculate. Fine. So let's start with Halsey. Fine. So to calculate earnings under Halsey or Rowan also, what do you need? You need 4 ingredients. You all know. You need standard time, you need time taken, and then you will get time saved, and then you also need the time rate. These 4 ingredients you need to calculate the the earnings. Fine. So let's extract these things from the question. It's really simple. First we need standard time. Now standard time is given over here. See, average time for producing one piece by one worker at the previous performance. This may be taken as time allowed. Yeah, time allowed means standard time. They are saying 2 hours. But this standard time is only to produce one piece. But we have to do the whole calculation, monthly calculation. And in a month, they have said the production is of 1250 units. So how can we calculate? It's really simple. For one piece, it's 2 hours. Then for 1250, it's 1250 into 2. Isn't it? This is what you have to do. See, it's really simple. Standard time calculation. For one unit, they are saying it's 2 hours. For 1250 units, what you have to do? You have to just simply multiply with 2. But sometime what can happen in the question? This is simple. Sometime they may say 5 unit, 2 hours. Then you have to do this proper calculation, cross multiplication. Okay, 5 unit, 2 hours, and then cross multiply. Now here it's really simple. 1 unit figure they have given. 1 unit, it's 2 hours. Then directly you can multiply 250 units into 2 hours. That's 2500 hours. Okay, this is your standard time. Is it clear? Of producing what? 1250 units. Okay, total calculation is going on, monthly calculation. So we have got the standard time. Now we need time taken. Okay, actual time. So time taken is, see here, they have said time taken is, they have not given properly. This also we have to calculate. See, number of working days they have said it's 25. And number of working hours per day for each worker, they are saying 8, right? And then there are 10 workers in total. So you have to multiply all these three things. 10 workers into 25 days into 8 hours. Yeah, the total time taken in a month. Fine. See, it's really simple. Time taken is equal to 8 hours in a day into 25 days into 10 workers. Yeah, total calculation is happening over here. So let's just do that in calculator. 8 hours into 25 days into 10, that's equal to 2000 hours. Fine. So 2500 were standard time allowed, and this is the time taken. So if you subtract these two, you get the time saved. You all know. Yeah, time saved mostly will not be given in the question. You just have to subtract and find it out. So that's 500 hours. And then time rate is directly given in the question. Hourly rate of wages, which is rupees 40. Okay, clear? Simple. Now what we have to do, we have all the four ingredients: ST, TT, TS and TR, right? So we can easily apply the Halsey formula. What's the Halsey formula? See, TT into TR, the basic thing, and then the bonus thing. Yeah, what's the bonus thing? Half of time saved we give as a bonus, right? TT into TR, TS into TR into 50%. Is it clear? So see, just input the values. TT is 2000, TR is 40, time saved is 500 hours, and then time rate is time saved is 500 hours and time rate is 40 rupees and 50%. If you do that, see, 2000 into 40, that's 80,000. 500 into 40, that's 20,000 into 50%, that's 10,000. Clear? So that's equal to 90,000 total earnings under Halsey plan. Is it clear? Simple and straightforward. Now to calculate effective rate per hour, what do you have to do? This is the formula: total earnings divided by TT. Total earnings under Halsey you have to take. This effective rate per hour is under Halsey. Is it clear? And time taken will be same only. There is no difference in that. See here, 90,000 divided by 2. Okay, 90,000 divided by 2. Sorry, 2000 divided by 2000. That's equal to 45 rupees per hour. Fine. Is it clear? So this is the effective rate per hour. Fine. For every hour, the workers are earning this much. Okay, rupees 45 per hour. Is it clear? Yeah. So we have completed the first requirement partially. Now you have to repeat this with the Rowan formula. So it's really simple. What's the Rowan formula? Do you remember? What's the Rowan formula? TT into TR plus TS divided by ST and then TT into TR. Isn't it? See here. TT into TR, the basic thing, yeah, the same basic, plus TS divided by ST and then TT into TR. Yeah, this is what you have to do. Time saved over standard time. Fine. So let's just input the values. TT into TR, 2000 into 40 plus then time saved is how much? 500 hours. So 500 is divided by 2500. That's the standard time. Yeah, standard time. And then into TT, TT is 2000 into TR, that's 40 rupees. All right. And then see, 2000 into 40, that's 80,000. And then here, if you do the calculation, 2000 into 40, that's how much? 80,000, right? And then 500 divided by 2500, that's 20%, I think. See, 500 divided by 2500, yeah, 20% into what? 2000 into 40, yeah, so that's equal to 16,000. Okay, this part 16,000. So 80 plus 16,000, that's equal to 96,000. Yep, 96,000. So these are the total earnings under the Rowan plan. Now you take this and apply the same formula. Total earnings under Rowan plan divide by the time taken, which is the same. Time taken won't change. It's 2000 hours only. Okay. So 96,000 divided by 2000, that's equal to 48 rupees. Simple and straightforward. Yeah. So first objective, first requirement of the question is over. What was that? Calculate effective rate of earnings per hour under Halsey scheme and Rowan scheme. So if Mr. A adopts Halsey plan, then employees will earn 45 rupees per hour. Is it clear? Employees, the workers will earn rupees 45 per hour. But if Mr. A employs Rowan scheme, then what will happen? Employees will earn rupees 48 per hour. Yeah, that's the understanding by this. That's the interpretation. Now, the second requirement. Let's just move on to the second requirement. Second requirement is calculate the savings to Mr. A in terms of direct labor cost per piece under the schemes. So how do you calculate savings? It's really simple. Let me just give you an example of your house only. Let's just say you have a faulty motor or something in your well, okay, and your current electricity bill is coming, let's just say 5,000, okay, 5,000 for 6 months. It's coming 5,000 every time, 5,000 something, okay. So now let's just say you change the motor. Now after changing the motor, the very next month, let's just say you got an electricity bill of how much? Let's just say you got 4,000. So how much has been saved? Easily you can say 1,000 has been saved. How did you do the calculation? What was the formula? How did you do the calculation? Really simple, sir. 5,000 I used to pay earlier. Now this month I paid 4,000 as my electricity bill. So 5,000 minus 4,000. Old minus new. Old minus new. So that's equal to 1,000, isn't it? So for an example, direct labor cost per piece was, let's just say 10 rupees, yeah, previously, and then currently let's just say it is 8 rupees. So minus 8. This is what you will do now. Old minus new. Old minus new. 2 rupees. This 2 rupees will be your saving. Saving means what? It's, benefit, saving. Fine. Your cost is less by 2, right? That's what saving means. So that is what you have to calculate over here. So first you need what is the direct labor cost per piece currently without Halsey and Rowan. That is what you need first. How will you calculate that? How will you calculate? It's really simple. Direct labor cost, they are saying. Labor cost. What is your labor cost over here? Direct labor cost in the question, if you see. This 40 rupees, sir. This 40 rupees. Yeah. Hourly rate of wages is 40 rupees. This is the labor cost, na? But per piece they are asking, per piece. To make one piece, we know from the question, it requires 2 hours. Yeah, to make one piece, we need 2 hours, right? So 2 hours, what's the cost of 2 hours? 40 into 2, that's 80 rupees, isn't it? 40 into 2, that's 80 rupees. So this 80 rupees will be the current direct labor cost per piece. To make one piece, how much money we have to incur? How much cost we have to incur of labor? 80 rupees, because 2 hours are required. Yeah, so 40 into 2, that's 80 rupees. That's the current labor cost per piece. Is it clear? Direct labor cost per piece. So see here, let me just show you the calculation now of saving. It's really simple. Direct labor cost saving per piece. First we have to calculate normal labor cost per piece without any system, without any, without Halsey and Rowan systems. Okay, just the current system, whatever that is there. Time rate system is there currently. Okay, it's a normal factory. Fine. So 2 hours into 40. I explained you how did we get that, right? So that's 80 rupees. Is it clear? Is this clear to you? Fine. Now what we have to do is we have to compare this with the labor cost after Halsey and Rowan. Yeah, as I told you now, new minus old you have to do, then only you will get the saving. If it's positive, it's saving. If it's negative, it's loss. Yeah, extra cost you are incurring, that means. Yeah, fine. So see, it's really simple. You have to make 2 columns, Halsey and Rowan, and take normal labor cost per piece. Okay, this is the old values, 80, 80. These are the old values without Halsey and Rowan. Yeah, so now you have to subtract cost per unit under the scheme. Cost per unit under the scheme. Under Halsey, it's 72 rupees. How did I get that 72 rupees? It's really simple. See, what did I do? I took, see here, the earnings, total cost for us. Total cost is how much? 90,000. Now, if the Mr. A goes for Halsey plan, then how much wages, total wages he has to pay to his workers, 10 workers in a month? 90,000, isn't it? 90,000 total he has to pay, 90,000 rupees. Yeah. So 90,000 I took, divide by the units, total number of units that they will be producing in a month. These are the wages paid in a month, divide by the total number of units produced in a month. Total number of units produced in a month is given over here, 1,250. To produce 1,250 in a month under Halsey scheme, wages were 90,000. So 90,000 divided by 1,250. 90,000 divided by 1,250. So it's 72 rupees per piece. Cost per unit or cost per piece is 72 rupees under Halsey plan. Is it clear? Did you understand this thing? So this is what we have to take, and then under row 1 the same way you have to do. It's 76.8. How did I get that? The same way. See here, the total earnings under row 1 were how much? 96,000, right? 96,000 the total wages you have to pay to your 10 workers to produce how many units? 1250, the same number of units only. Yeah, so 96,000 divided by 1250, 96,000. Here I need 96,000, so that's equal to 76.8. 76.8 is the labor cost per piece under row 1 scheme. Is it clear? So then you have to subtract old minus new, old minus new. 80 minus 72, that's saving per piece 8 rupees. Here 80 minus 76.8, that's 3.2 rupees. Fine. So now you can easily decide which scheme you are going to select, right? If the question was just these two requirements, and then the question would have asked just simple question that which scheme should be selected, which scheme would you recommend to Mr. A, then you could say that, you know, Halsey is better because the company is saving 8 rupees here, yeah, 8 rupees per piece compared to the time rate system, isn't it? Simple logical now. Where is more saving, you will go with that option, Halsey. But now in the old module, what used to be there, the third requirement which I have written over here in the ink, see, which scheme should be adopted to fulfill the assurance. They are not asking which scheme to be adopted. If they would have asked which scheme should be adopted, then you could say it is, you know, Halsey. 8 rupees saving is happening, this is the best, right? For the company this is the best, 8 rupees saving. Here it's 3.2 saving. Why would we go for row 1, right? That would be your, you know, answer. But here see what's happening. The problem is in the question what has happened in the question, this Mr. A, this guy has given a guarantee, has given an assurance to his workers that there will be an increase of 20% in their present earnings. Yeah, how much? 20% increase will be there. Sorry. So here they are saying which scheme should be adopted to fulfill the assurance. The requirement is very specific. The requirement is not just which scheme to be adopted, but to fulfill the assurance. Assurance is becoming important over here, right? So that is why, see, what are we going to do is we are going to ignore the savings. We are going to ignore the savings. We'll not look at the savings for selection of the plan. No, we'll not select Halsey. We will look at what? We will look at, see, we will look at effective rate per hour. See, rate per hour to fulfill the assurance of 20% increase. Currently, what's the rate of wages? 40 rupees. Without Halsey and Rowan, hourly rate of wages, the time rate is rupees 40. For every hour, they are getting rupees 40. And then we calculated, if we go for Halsey, what will happen? If we go for Halsey, then the effective rate per hour will be rupees 45. If we go for row 1, effective rate per hour will be rupees 48. Yeah. So we have to see the effective rate per hour and not the saving. Actually, we would have seen the saving, but here it's a special requirement. There is a specific requirement over here. They're just talking about fulfilling the assurance, the guarantee which Mr. A has given. Because of that, we have to see effective rate per hour. And according to effective rate per hour, under the Rowan plan, employees are earning more per hour. It's 48 and it meets the criteria. See, the criteria was, the assurance was 20% increase. 40 was the normal rate, time rate. So plus 20%, so that's equal to 48. 20% of 40 is 8 rupees. So 40 plus 8 rupees, that's 48 per hour. And under the Rowan plan, effective rate comes out to be 48. Yeah. So we have to select the Rowan plan. We have to suggest, Mr. A, please select Rowan. Then only your assurance of 20% increase will be met. Yeah. But from the company's point of view, saving is more under Halsey. So if the assurance is not important, then you should have gone for Halsey. But since the assurance is there, so that's why to get the marks in exam, to properly answer this question, what you have to suggest? You have to suggest Rowan plan. Fine. As we can see, Rowan scheme fulfills the assurance of rupees 48 per hour. Therefore, Rowan scheme should be followed to fulfill the assurance. The assurance is important in this requirement. Fine, that 20% increase. Just because of that, we are selecting row 1. Otherwise, if this to fulfill the assurance thing was not there in the requirement and this part was not there, that assurance part, then our answer should be Halsey, because saving is more in Halsey. Is it clear? Yeah. So that's all for this video. I hope you have understood that it's really simple. Yeah, you understood everything. Saving. And here, what did we do over here? Here first we extracted the information, little bit was calculation was there, and then here to calculate effective rate per hour, first we need earnings. So first we calculated the earnings, then took the earnings and divided by TT, we got the effective rate per hour. The same with the Rowan plan as well, total earnings first, divide by the time taken, you got the effective rate per hour. Okay, and then here we first calculate the normal labor cost per piece just by looking at the question. 2 hours to make one piece, so 2 hours into rupees time rate, that's the rupees 40, so that's 80 rupees. And then we just compared old minus new, we got the savings. If it's positive, it's savings. If it's negative, then it's loss. Okay, extra cost. Fine. And then this also, to fulfill the assurance, we have to select row 1. Okay, so that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye.